Hello, boys and girls. Our story today is something we call a tall tale. And this tall tale is about a person called Pecos Bill, the roughest, toughest, best. And it was written by Patsy, Jensen and illustrated by Ben Mahan. Now remember, tall tales might have some truth. Mostly it's all made up. So, this is really kind of crazy, but here we go. Bill was the youngest in a family of 12 children. All the children had bright stars on their right arms. One day, Bill's ma and pa decided to pack up their belongings and head west. The trip went along fine until it was time to cross the Pecos River. The wagon tossed and turned in the high water. Before you know it, out bounced little Bill. And there he is. By the time Bill's family realized he was missing, it was too dark to go looking for him. And look at Mama. See the tears coming down her eyes, cheeks? Don't worry, said Pa. He's a smart little fella. He'll figure something out. Since Bill was lost at the Pecos River, he came to be known as Pecos Bill. Right after Bill fell out of the wagon, he was discovered by a coyote named Grandy. Bill did not know that coyotes were dangerous. He treated Grandy like a dog. He petted Grandy's head and scratched him behind the ears. Grandy thought Bill was very nice too, even if his ears were a little bit small. Bill also learned to speak the languages of all the animals and birds around him. Every animal had something to teach Bill, and he was happy to learn. And you see them all there. But one day, a sad time came. His friend Grandy was dying. Bill tried to help Grandy, but it was no use. The coyote had become too old and weak to lead the pack. One morning, Grandy headed up to the hills, and Bill never saw his friend again. And there are some animals that when they know they're going to die, that they do go off by themselves. Soon after Grandy died, Bill saw a very strange sight. An odd creature on a horse was coming toward him. Bill raced around the horse, trying to figure out the creature. All the time he ran, the creature spoke to him in a strange language. Finally, Bill stopped running and listened. That's when he heard the creature say, "Baby." "Baby," Bill said back. The creature got down from his horse. He rolled up his arm sleeve and showed Bill the star on his arm. "I'm your brother," he said. "My name is Chuck." Chuck taught Bill the human language. Of course, Bill was very surprised to hear that he was a human and not a coyote. Chuck told him what had happened to him when he was a baby. Bill was happy to learn that his family had been looking for him ever since. Chuck asked Bill to come with him to his ranch. Bill knew he would miss his coyote friends, but he was curious about humans. So here he is saying goodbye to his friends. Bill and Chuck headed to the ranch. Chuck gave Bill some cowboy clothes. The other cowboys helped him cut his hair and clean himself up. Then Chuck tried to show Bill how to ride a horse. "Shucks," said Bill. "Why would I want to get on a horse? I can outrun one any day." So he says he doesn't need to ride on a horse. He can run faster than riding on a horse. "But you would look more like a cowboy if you had a horse," Chuck said. "Let's go into town and get you one." Bill just laughed. "I'll get my own horse," he said. Bill dashed out to the open range and hopped up on a wild horse. In no time at all, the horse was tamed. And there he is on that beautiful white horse. The other cowboys were amazed at the way Bill handled the horses and cattle. They soon realized that Pecos Bill was the greatest cowboy they had ever seen. Soon Bill got himself a special horse named Lightning. No one but Bill could ride Lightning, and that suited Bill just fine. Then one day Bill met a young woman named Slewfoot Sue. She was riding a big catfish in the river. The two fell in love, and Bill asked Sue to marry him. Sue agreed to marry Bill on one condition. She wanted to ride Lightning. Bill didn't think that was a good idea, but Sue insisted. So right after they got married, she hopped on Lightning's back. Lightning bucked and bucked, but Sue held on. Then the horse bucked so hard that Sue flew into the air, clear over the moon. Naturally, Bill was sad. Each day and night he searched the sky in hopes of seeing her again. Meanwhile, Bill had lots of other work to do. Instead of setting rope traps for stray cattle, he thought up the idea of lassoing them. Then Bill taught the other cowboys his trick. Bill also taught the cowboys how to herd the cows to keep them from roaming. In time, Bill traveled all over the country, teaching cowboys what he knew. Then one day, Bill was gone. Some say he went back to live with the coyotes, but most people believe he went off to search for Slewfoot Sue. And if anyone could find her, it would be Pecos Bill. And that's the story. And you can see why it's called a tall tale. You know, when you tell mama or grandma that you and daddy went out and you caught a fish this big, but the fish was only this big. It's a tall tale. Well, these are tall tales. Great, big, exaggerated stories. And I will see you in another storybook.